ZartZu versus Lakila. Now, ZartZu is a character, a player, so to speak, who I think has a very interesting playstyle. All right, ZartZu, obviously number 2 in Finland after he tried and tested Lancelot. All right, Banjo player. Has a couple of other characters kind of in the tank, but it's very rare that you're going to see anyone else than the tried and tested Bear and Bird. So, coming up, what do you think of Banjo, and more importantly, what do you think of ZartZu?
I love ZartZu. First of all, he's a great human being. I love this guy to death. We were planning to go hiking the last time. We were planning to go hiking this time. Both times it didn't happen because we both suck at planning. So we're gonna get to it at some point. But yeah, I love this guy to death. His gameplay is very interesting. But I'm gonna let you talk about it because you guys have history as well, right?
We do. I've commentated ZartZu a few times now. Obviously, watched their incredible play alongside his brother Kekari in doubles yesterday. Also caught them at UFA. Now ZartZu has a very interesting game plan. I want to see if he kind of continues to abuse it, which in this matchup I think will come in very handy. ZartZu's really good at playing in the air. I don't want to call it air camping because it's just not really like that. He basically just plays Banjo in like the top blast zone, which is nothing like I've ever seen before. And I learned yesterday he used to play Little Mac, which makes sense. You know, you go from the ground, it's like, well, this air thing's pretty cool. I might roll with that.
ZartZu was Little Mac main in Smash 4. Started off playing Link in Ultimate before Banjo came out, and then it's all Banjo. Of course, has those secondary heavies, but let's not forget about Lakila as we get into this game right here. Lakila qualifying from the bracket yesterday has the Steve, has a little bit of a Simon going as well. We saw that yesterday, so it might be some switch outs, well, of course, maining the Steve right here and has brought in some good results with that.
Now, Lakila, as I learned yesterday, is a very interesting case. Obviously, like you mentioned, one of those qualifying 6 coming in, and Lakila actually a bit of a Wi-Fi warrior, so to speak. You know, someone who has come out decently recently, all right, had some very amazing results. One of the sort of new generation of Steves. I think every country has one, and you can see why, as that footstool down into the anvil is really making ZartZu work for it. ZartZu just trying to find a kill here. The down tilt not going to come through either. But Lakila looking to make a statement here. Obviously not an invitee, a bit too fresh for that, but definitely more than capable of causing some major upsets. Yeah. These are the ones you got to watch out for.
We're seeing it right now. I mean, Lakila, I think he's also on the PR. It was an honorable mention, actually.
Yeah, honorable mention.
So just missed it. So no slouch whatsoever at ZartZu here on the number 2, but they're keeping track of each other very well. ZartZu living a little bit longer, of course, as we're talking about Banjo, but look at that giant fist coming through.
Still not enough to take it out just yet as the grenade comes through. 140 on both sides. Ledge Trump not going to come through either. Spot dodge is going to keep him safe for now as the down tilt comes through. Up the down there just to mix it up. Fantastic bit of mind play from ZartZu.
Right, so now Lakila losing that stock first after doing this much damage, after doing the work here in the first few seconds of this game. ZartZu now stuck in the minecart. It's going to get magma blocked for it. So Lakila working that right back. It's all good. We are having 2 fresh stocks on the board for both these players.
Yeah, looking very, very even right now. What you like to see as final destination. That'll workbench looking very, very postured in the middle. I like it. You can use a couple of sheep on it if you ask me.
Oh yeah,
other than
very
that,
true actually. Right. Yeah, you should do that. Like 3 wooden blocks and 3 wool blocks.
Yeah, there you go. Now there's an idea. All right, Sakurai call us up as Lakila. I mentioned ZartZu likes playing in the air. You know what? I think Lakila's taken that idea and said, anything you can do, I can do better, as they're just hanging out, waiting for the chance to throw a couple anvils out. Lakila looking pretty healthy on resources, though. A nice chunk of iron. Still, the diamond back air looking nice and tasty.
Of course, that is kind of how the matchup goes. Like, Banjo is not like the best at approaching the Steve and really pressuring him into, you know, keeping him from mining and stuff. So ZartZu has kind of accepted Lakila has resources out the butt, you know.
That's one way to describe it.
It's going to have that for quite a while. And look at these block places. I love these as well, trying to prevent ZartZu from wonder-winging to ledge.
Yeah, really, really good, but equally good recovery coming out from ZartZu as well. Some fantastic stuff as he's trying to bait out a couple of those forward airs. Lakila once again looking pretty healthy. The trap is set. ZartZu going to go over the top. A great evasion of that minecart as well.
I love the trap though, yeah. Using the minecart to set up the TNT, letting it rip, you know. ZartZu right now, he's definitely very far down. He's lost a very clean stock from Lakila, the second stock. Lakila not really taking any damage for it. Now off stage though with that back throw, having the grenade in hand as well. Catching the recovery from the Elytra. Lakila trying to juke around it, tries to do it again, going high the second time, but ZartZu is there again. Down smash missing. But the forward smash from Lakila is as well. There's the Ultrastar catching the jump for ZartZu, still living, but he's very close to losing his final stock here.
Certainly is. Lakila was very low on resources for quite a while. They're doing okay for now, but it is only a matter of time, surely, as ZartZu really does risk a lot on that kill. The grenade going to get him out of the grab. Good stuff as a back air is what you're looking for there. Avoiding the forward smash. Good stuff, but the anvil comes down, and that's going to take it 2 stocks to nothing.
All right. Well, that's how it goes. I mean, ZartZu was looking quite good for the first few seconds of this match, but then afterwards it was just Lakila taking over.
He really was. Looked very, very even. And honestly, I think really one of the main difference maker is Lakila has very, very strong anti-air game. Obviously, Steve does anyway, because you've got Magma Block, and Magma Block's pretty good, if you ask me.
Oh,
you know,
yes,
hot take.
agree. No.
Everyone calm down, all right? It's a good move.
Literal hot take, actually.
Yeah, no, very hot, all right? A bit too hot, if you ask me. As it really does mess a lot of ZartZu, because no, ZartZu, obviously, Banjo has that sort of second jump, really likes mixing things up, all right? ZartZu likes to jump and then choose an option, likes to jump stall a bit with the grenade tosses, with kind of the projectiles, and really Lakila more than happy to punish that, all right? Looks like ZartZu can play a little bit more grounded, or try and abuse platforms, depending on where we are going into this next game.
But is ZartZu a guy to play grounded is the question, because you already mentioned that he really likes to be in the air and use these Irish drag downs, all that good stuff, you know. So we'll see if he can end up. We're going to go to Yoshi's, and that's a stage we don't really see that often at all, because this stage is very polarizing for what it really does to you.
You got that right. Quite possibly the most polarizing legal stage, except for PS2. Whee! As we are going to move into a little bit of neutral. Obviously, Steve trying to make his way back. We've got those wall blocks. We might be able to get our sheep stack if we do play our cards right, as maybe Lakila has been hearing us. Still playing it nice and safe. Obviously going to be able to use those blocks as a little bit of chest-high cover. Kind of like a 2005 shooter. ZartZu's just kind of hiding behind and then bouncing from one to one. Bit Gears of War going on right now as Lakila trying to find an opening right there. Nice and healthy on resources, but nothing too strong yet. Going to craft themselves a little bit of a stronger blade as well. But ZartZu playing the spacing game pretty well.
Let's see if we get those timings. You can see already the ledges there, the slopes, acting a little bit strangely with the grenades and all that good stuff. Both these players can definitely capitalize off these, but Lakila just catching the landing from ZartZu. Kazooie jumping right into that sword, and that sounds very painful.
It's very tough. ZartZu kind of has to get their priorities right and decide how they really want to play. Obviously, the mash is going to be a bit too strong there, because the issue is that entire first stock, it's Lakila with no resources, with nothing good, like running around, circle camping, basically. ZartZu chases them onto a random block and then dies for it. Like, you're chasing Steve, and that's why you're losing, but I understand why, because you don't want Lakila to get the advantage with these diamonds. But still, that forward air coming down. Gonna see if this is gonna work. The snipe out with the grenade, still not enough. A second, a third. Can we see a hat trick?
Yeah,
that's it.
Four.
Can we see a fourth? Five.
No, no 5. All right, but he was going for it. Gets the back throw to finish off. That was a quite precise grenade play right there.
My goodness. As we're just going to keep going, all right? Looks like ZartZu's found a match that works.
Oh my lord, what a conversion though from Lakila. Spiking him to the ground and serving him up with that forward smash. Now ZartZu has to put in the work once. What the hell is that? Lakila is feeling himself right now. A little bit of disrespect along the way.
It certainly is a mix-up.
That might go a long way as well, you know, in terms of mental damage.
Yeah, certainly could. All right, let me tell you, Steve is very mentally damaging, especially for those who are not the biggest fan of the blocky man's antics. As grenades coming out, just a lot to keep track of in this matchup as well. Very, very tiring on the mind, on the eyes. As speaking of mining, going to send that forward smash through. TNT is set up as well. Going to send a grenade just to keep Lakila from getting too many resources.
Yeah. Oh, shield break there coming through with the Wonder Wing, and that's going to be ZartZu having a little bit of trouble landing, but doesn't matter. The bird is going to be slapping that blockman out there to the left side. So ZartZu, with this shield break, actually bringing him way closer than Lakila would have liked, I think. That ZartZuBanjo can live for a while.
Certainly can. All right, going to see if this advantage is enough to keep it going. Obviously, a little bit of fade back, some empty hops coming out from ZartZu. Just going to mine in the meantime. Got that golden tool. Going to give them a little bit of extra pizzazz when they're mining right there. Got the wall going. Just trying to thread the needle, trying to get the bombs through that. Minecart is just a bit too much. Great job avoiding as the Wonder Wing comes through back to safety. Not that much of a punish, but
a lot of end lag on that Wonder Wing. The safety is quite deceiving, and Lakila definitely aware of what he has to do to avoid that. Used the grenade actually to set off the TNT, and you see Lakila trying to use the slopes with that down smash, trying to get that hitbox below the ledge, but ZartZu having the timing and the smash. being the forward one of a kind on that anvil, is going to take it a little bit faster with that gold sword as well. Just gets the extra speed on that one and slaps him out.
Very, very tough. ZartZu had pretty much everything covered in the sense they were avoiding all the really obvious options. They even kind of avoided the anvil. Just what they weren't prepared for was that kind of slant messing with the grab. All right, tried to run in, grab him off the top of the anvil, just didn't connect.
Yeah.
Maybe in a different universe, maybe with a slightly, maybe just a few more pixels of animation, anything like that. Could have gotten that grab, could have seen a very different game. But good job for Lakila. Established a very clear lead, a very good damaging game plan at the start, and was able to push it all the way. And now this could be our final game, could be a 3-0, unless ZartZu has found the secret source, has found the map, has found the key to taking down this Blockman, and could possibly be Yoshi's.
Yeah, this it's Yoshi's again, so it is definitely ZartZu's counter pick, so he has some idea what he wants to do here. And my guess would be those slopes, you know, they can really just mess up with the timing on those grenades, the bounces and all that good stuff, but it gives Lakila the opportunity to just camp under those platforms, you know, build himself a little bit of a house and give himself that safety to get those resources that he needs.
Certainly is. Lakila's doing this thing where he builds two specific walls just under this platform on the left or right, and then ZartZu kind of falls for it and is trying to thread projectiles through to stop the mining, when really, if you're not getting it on the first try, it's just giving Lakila so much freedom to do what he wants.
I think ZartZu slowly but surely realizing that as well, mixing up his approaches. He still tries to get some grenades through and eggs, but he's then using aerials and normals to just break the blocks and use a different approach on that one.
That is true. Keeping the barrage up. Oh, going to catch out the forward there. Very, very ballsy from the side of ZartZu. Good stuff as forced onto the platform. Diamonds, of course, active for Lakila right there. Looking very healthy. Very raw Wonder Wing. Not quite going to do it, but two will make it happen. As going to beat out the minecart as well. Zed catch the grenade, throw it forward. No, back air coming out though.
Yeah, there's no true combos off the grenade. It's more of a conditioning tool really here. Lakila trying to make it with the back air, but Steve definitely too slow for that one. So Lakila and ZartZu both still holding on to their first stocks right now, and all of that said, you know, ZartZu definitely getting used to trying to combo the X into the Wonder Wing, but a little bit too low on that one. Lakila maybe going a little bit higher, actually missing the attack on the platform, but really didn't get punished for it because ZartZu was already slightly too low with that Wonder Wing, so missed it right there. But interesting interaction, interesting combo. ZartZu is really upping his game right now.
Yeah, ZartZu very smart at playing around TNT as well. It just isn't a factor in this game because he knows exactly how to blow it up early with the explosions from that grenade as well. And honestly, now that, this is going to sound weird, now that ZartZu was kind of excellent stuff, fabulous. Back to that point, now that ZartZu was kind of losing, he was playing a lot better. Because at the start, he was very focused on trying to force Steve to not mine, you know, rush him down, but he was just falling into traps. Now that he's just waited and Steve's gotten as powerful as possible, full resources, full diamond, there's nothing more for Steve to get.
Yeah.
And so, well, I might as well play slow. And hey, for the first time in this set, he's now in the lead.
I think ZartZu has reached that point where he recognized that he just cannot contest Steve getting those resources. He just has to accept that Steve will have those resources on deck and is going to play with that in mind and play around it. And that's precisely what he's doing right now. You can have all the iron you want. I'm going to interrupt every single minecart with those grenades.
Certainly is. Just keep them coming. One doing the wrong direction. There is none left, by the way, as grenade comes through. Doesn't quite hit the TNT, and that is the one mistake you're allowed to make.
Well, he has all those Wonder Wings back now. Maybe that's the master plan. Has fresh new charges and what a setup into the downstream. And that is the slant coming through the hitbox, being a little bit lower. And that sets up perfectly for ZartZu to connect that kill. What a beautiful confirm right there.
Simple geometry, my goodness. ZartZu with a very, very healthy lead. We see Lakila cannot be counted out just yet. They find themselves a couple of resources. All right, but looks like ZartZu's got the muscle memory down on this chest-high cover. All right.
Yeah, and actually calling out the timing perfectly again. As soon as the blocks were kind of fading away, it was Lakila trying to get over it with the minecart, but ZartZu had the grenade ready to go and interrupted that as soon as it came out.
Great stuff, great stuff. Diamond on deck for Lakila, all right, but not a whole lot more you can get. If you find another diamond at this point, it's not like you can keep it for your next stock, and I doubt you're going to break that sword before you find a kill. So, ZartZu more than happy to play the long game, play the waiting game, play with those grenades, get the bombs going.
And I think he's also baiting Lakila in at this point a little bit as well, because of course he has to approach right now because he's not a stop. But not only that, ZartZu, he has made all these mistakes. Okay, that looked just funny. He's made all these mistakes in the first two games, right? And so Lakila is kind of used to ZartZu just jumping into his stuff. He's not doing that anymore. He's baiting Lakila in now.
Exactly. I mean, Lakila can't approach. That's the thing. That's one of Steve's biggest weaknesses. There's no real way for him to get in. You can use the powered minecarts, but on a small stage like Yoshi's, it's fairly predictable, especially with ZartZu throwing those grenades, all right? Minecarts just not getting much value. And so, you're more than happy to just chip away. However long it may take, we've got 2:27 on the clock. You know, might get us a coffee if you want one Schwartz. I can go down to Hiesberger. But Lakila going down to the depths, all right? And it's going to be ZartZu. He's eating good tonight.
A little bit of an awkward recovery there, kind of just face plants into the wall. It looked a little bit funny. Not quite as funny for Lakila for sure, as he goes down and gives up the game. Still in the lead, of course, 2-1 right now to the Steve player, but ZartZu really seems to be slowly but surely getting used to what he has to do, getting used to what Lakila wants to do as well. Yeah,
ZartZu's absolutely found a game plan, and it's really good to see. This is where things get difficult, though, because you're not getting Yoshis again.
I don't think he will now. It's 2 counter picks for Lakila now if we go the whole distance here on these 5 games. So the only thing that, in terms of stages, that ZartZu gets to do is to ban 2, and then he's at the mercy of Lakila. Actually, ban 3. Never mind. It's 3 bans.
I imagine we're going to be getting rid of, you know, those kind of tried and tested content. Obviously, Lakila probably wants to remove as many, probably as many triplats as possible, just for safety. Means that Banjo can't necessarily. I know both of them can kind of circle camp each other. That's where it gets difficult. But because Banjo has so many projectiles, Banjo circle camping goes the distance. It's the sprint versus marathon. You know, if Steve can camp enough to get diamond and such, he can do some real damage. But once he gets that diamond, there's nothing more to get. And so those grenades can keep flying. So you probably want to take care of triplats. Nevertheless, that's my 2 cents.
Is that the... This might be one of the only things where you want to go for like a smaller stage as Steve, but we're seeing the exact opposite actually. We're taking on the longest stage in the game, Town and City coming through right here for Lakila. So he's looking for even more distance, and I'm not sure if I agree, but then again, he's sitting in the seat and playing the game, and I'm just talking about it.
That is true, that is true. And you know what? You can even sort of take a risk, because at the end of the day, stages are not in any way be-all and end-all, but any advantage you can get is fabulous. You can kind of take a risk, be like, right, let's see how ZartZu plays with these blast zones with more kind of chaotic interference with these platforms. And if it doesn't work, hey, whatever, you got another game. Take it to PS2, who cares?
Yeah, this is the point where Lakila can try out some stuff, and this might be one of these tryouts, you know. Interesting, in the interaction there, of course, with the blocks as well. Wonder Wing. You would expect maybe the hitbox to be, you know, going through those blocks and stuff, but no, it's actually acting as a wall, which means that ZartZu's just gonna faceplant into it. And look at those 4, there's 2 big fists coming out, trying to use the long-lasting hitbox to maybe get a 2-frame or something along the lines, but it's not going to hit. So Lakila making his way back onto the stage and just chilling on the platform, you know, getting some of that mining going, getting that diamond going, all that good stuff. And at this point, he actually might even use... Actually, he has diamond roots already.
Yeah, he certainly does.
This has been fast.
It certainly has indeed. And them out with the back air, fantastic stuff. Going to take him down. It's got to hurt for ZartZu. And what I like about this stage pick, now that I think about it, is Lakila's kind of reset ZartZu's muscle memory. Like you saw after 2 games of Yoshi's, like when we first started and he was trying to weave those pellets through the blocks, it took a little while to figure out as the Wonder Wing comes through, still not killing. But now that you've got him on the new stage, he's missing a lot of pellets, missing a lot of grenades, has to get used to the length of these platforms, to the heights of the different areas. And, hey, Lakila's using that to his advantage, already in the lead. 0 on the side of Banjo right now. Going to see if we can find an early kill. Still, Lakila's built themselves a fort.
Well, yeah, ZartZu penetrating the fort right now, getting through the wall right here, you know, breaching the walls right now. The grenade's just gonna bounce right off, but ZartZu, he's not been touched yet, and as I say that, he is, so sorry about that. ZartZu, I didn't mean it. Forgive me.
I didn't realize that ZartZu. There we go, there's the perfect read. Fantastic stuff.
Right, but yeah, I mean, ZartZu keeping it very nice and even right here. You know, after kind of getting clapped a little bit in the first stock, it's composed himself, has slowed down the game again, and then just played down the stock and played it very nicely, got the stock of Lakila, and now it's in a very even game, and actually taking the lead as well.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Trying to get that download. In case you weren't aware, Banjo and Kazoo, I believe, is the newest operator in Rainbow Six Siege, which is very exciting. I'm sure he's going to be great in that. As set up into the air, not going to make it. A couple of grenades coming through. My goodness, the explosions are perfect. Doesn't quite get the grab on to the grenade, as we're going to keep it coming.
I'm waiting for the day that in Rainbow Six Siege gets a new character that has a backpack with a bird in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some words.
Yeah, we might be getting there.
Also, the support instead of a drone is just Kekuri comes out, and screams, and just like, ah! Just drink a big jug.
That would be so good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this collaboration as we move out. Minecart's gonna go wide. There's the magma block. I haven't seen that bad boy in a while.
Sakurai, talk to these people. We need to make this happen. Oh, that would be great. Well, we will see how that goes. For now, let's get back into this match right here at ZartZu. He's getting some good damage on Lucky, but Lakila no slouch either. He's taking his time, but he's gotten some good damage on the ZartZu. So it's all about finishing these stocks right now.
Yeah, you're damn right. As sent out the back air is going to take it. ZartZu, we had this situation at start. There's the berry. Not quite going to get the read, though. Sent up into the air. Lakila, a little bit predictable with these minecarts into anvils. Got to mix up the timing a little bit.
Yeah, ZartZu almost had the confirm. It was a nice trap actually with the bury. Didn't get the confirm with the up tilt, of course, but then got some nice up air afterwards. But that up air is never going to kill ZartZu. Okay, going past the TNT. The TNT is still there. It's still looming. Okay, explodes now. ZartZu stalling long enough. Luckily trying to get that anvil down. The bird coming through as well. The dash attacks. Diamond so dangerous. So much damage. 98 on ZartZu already. And as I just praised ZartZu for it, but now all the damage is going to mean nothing if you can't get that stock. That guy's not going to kill either and can't interrupt the minecart. Lakila looking so dangerous now that Steve stone face, stone cold.
Stone strong as well, just refusing to die. There's the jab mix-up, not quite enough. Magma block is gonna go wide as the dash attack takes it. ZartZu gotta play very, very clutch. But you're in that position where you can just take your time. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. You can just poke, run around, but it's gonna run out eventually. Better watch out.
All right, now ZartZu once again has to channel his inner Buddha here. Got all the patience to just get on the damage, just play the long game, as you said, but he misses the grab. What a spot dodge from Lakila, and he's made the upset work, keeping himself in winners and sending the #2 of Finland into losers.
Fantastic stuff from Lakila. Good job to ZartZu for adapting, but Lakila able to clutch it out. That spot dodge, heart and soul, man, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful indeed. Just goes to it. You just saw the facial expression of Banjo, just like, oh no, like the eyes going, oh no, I missed it.
It's like the start of a rom-com, like, yes. I bet you're wondering how I got here. Oh, dearie me. Unfortunate for ZartZu, of course.
That's me, you know, getting into that situation.
Oh, to be continued indeed.
Actually, I can't remember the exact quote on that one. I don't really watch
I'm trying to remember what they're all from. I know Ratatouille is the first one
right?
that comes to... Ratatouille is the first one that comes... I mean, it's so many of them, right?
Yeah, there is, really, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I'm sure there's a concrete list somewhere. But ZartZu obviously joining. And speaking of joining, Lakila is joining us.
Come into this...
Come on in, my friend. Come on in. How are you feeling?
Obviously, ZartZu is like R2. Like, after a long, and I've never like.
Yeah, I was looking you up. I was looking you up on Smash Head to Head. There's nothing there. All right,
yeah,
that leads me on to my next question. How long have you been in the scene? Because you're relatively fresh, aren't you?
I'd say maybe like 1 year, maybe 1.5, because I started out in the online tournaments.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I came to a weekly, I actually recognized Kenny's name. I wanted to teabag him and like, you know,
yeah, let's go.
We saw it.
That was like the first time, but you know, after that, you know, I was like, okay, he's kind of a like nice guy, so you know, then I started to come
teabag him slightly less.
But I mean, I was really toxic like a couple of years ago. Yeah,
it's okay.
My past is not, you know, it's not clean.
That's all right.
Well,
it's okay.
You're here now, and
he's a redeemed man.
Yeah, you're a redeemed man for sure. Like especially with that gameplay, I love what you did, and I mean that soul read on the last spot dodge, that was beautiful, man.
I mean, yeah, that was really like, you know, it was almost impossible for me to like get in, because I'm not saying like Banjo is like, you know, better than Steve, but you know, ZartZu is just so good. Like he keeps me away with the down B grenades, and it's like kind of playing against Snake, but you know, different.
Yeah.
So I had to like kind of like improvise, because I only played like Banjos online, and you know, Elite Smash is like.
We all know how that goes. Yeah.
So I'm curious, what is your opinion on Steve and Yoshi's? Because that seemed to be ZartZu's, you know, it's got like home territory. It's very comfortable on that map.
I mean, usually like this is not a good strategy, but usually in the weeklies I ban like all the stages where like farm wood.
Yeah.
Just because like in my opinion like it's better to go on a stage where there's like no.
Yeah,
wood.
exactly. Go for Hollow Bastion PS2
Yeah,
or
but
something.
it's also like the way like how the stage is made, like the platforms that can like help me, or like if that's like town and city basically turns into FD, so that's really good for Steve. But I thought like if I go to Yoshi's I can like farm and camp him out, but he did the same to me, so I had to change it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It was really, ZartZuBanjo, he was really trying to get you over with the slants as well, the confirms into the down smash, some spicy stuff, but you had some spicy stuff of your own, of course. You have your own down smash that kind of does that, so that works as well. Is that some of the Steve G's you can like throw out on these stages as well?
I mean, yeah, down smash, like I think it like goes a little bit below, and I mean, I'd say like one thing that like really works for me, and like it's like doing down air, the footstool down air, the tech, I don't know what it's called, but I think it like you can, it's like 1 frame window where you can like shield, but in a tournament setting like it's almost impossible to punish.
Beautiful.
If like somebody's on top of me, that's usually like the best out of shield option.
Sweet. Well, I got one more question for you, Lakila, if that's all right. Here on my phone, I have the Finnish PR, was just announced yesterday.
Yeah.
I would like you to tell me, what number are you taking next year?
I'm going for number 1.
Oh, calling out Hugo sitting right next to him.
He's taken out number 2.
Look at his eyes. Let's
He's
go.
taken out number 2. Hugo's right there. He's quaking. He's quaking in his boots.
For
Fantastic.
Sure. All right, great stuff, Lakila. Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck for the rest of your for your matches.
Fantastic work. Fantastic. You heard it there, folks. All right, stay tuned. Get the graphic ready now. Fantastic work from Lakila. What a beautiful set. And coming up, this is going to be a fun one, because you and I are both decently familiar with what's going on here.
There's there's no Finnish representation, I don't think, in the next one. That's a little bit of a Voravi versus Falfre action coming for you guys.
Sweden and Norway, I do believe.
We're kind of staying, in the north, in the Scandinavian territory right now.
We're not going above 0 degrees, don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. Like it's
okay.
We're not going to hit you with any of the like southern business, We're going to stay here, but definitely Voravi, He kind of let us hang in a little bit right now. Let's see how far he makes it. He was supposed to be commentating today as well, but the guy's just so good at the game that he's ended up here to play against Falfre.
It's a darn shame. It's a darn shame indeed. As we'll get into the history in just a little bit, but frankly, let's get into the gameplay right now. Now, Squirtle Joker